Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's been a good while since I posted my last video and a lot's changed in that time. I've got myself a new job, which has meant more responsibility and less time to do watch reviews, sadly. But let me reassure you that one thing that hasn't changed is my love of watches. And I'm hoping that in the next few months, I can push much more content out there for your pleasure. Thank you for all the likes, the subscriptions and the comments. All this has aided in the support of the channel and the enjoyment of the hobby. Let's now talk about this watch today. The Casio G-Shock GA-2110ET-8AER. Do not ask me where they get these long reference names from, but that's what this reference is. As many of you may be aware, these watches are affectionately referred to as the Casioak because of their resemblance to the AP Royal Oak. This particular edition is the earth tone grey edition, and I really do love that grey. What about you? Put your comments in the comment section and say what you think of this particular edition. On to some specifications. The case is constructed of resin and it's a 45.5mm diameter. It has a thickness of 11.8mm, and as you can see here, it has the carbon core technology which provides this watch with a high level of shock resistance. As you can see, the display is an ani-digi display. We have the analog display primarily. Then we have our digital display here. And what I like here, it gives this watch a nice individual touch, is this dial here, this complication that shows the day that we're on. A really nice touch. Now, the digital display gives us a number of complications, a number of features. It has the ability to display either 12 or 24 hours, 5 daily alarms. It has an hourly time signal, an automatic calendar, countdown timer, date and weekday display. You have illumination technology, double LED. It has a stopwatch function, world timer, and it's a quartz movement which has an accuracy of plus to minus 15 seconds per month. There are many more comprehensive descriptions of the specs of this watch and the history of this watch out there on the internet. So I'll leave you to look at those if you want more of an in-depth description of this watch. Anyway, what's my experience been like with this timepiece? Well, to be honest, I really do love this watch. They do say that if you've got a watch collection, each collection should have a Casio in there. And, you know, for me, this is a great do everything watch. It's a very robust and solid watch, but it has a bit of, what's the word? A bit of flair, a bit of style to it, which I really do like. I like how strong it is. I like the fact that I can wear it and not have to worry about banging it around too much. But the thing is, I do feel that I've bonded with this watch really well. It has a lug to lug of over 48mm. Now, don't let that fool you or make you think that it's not worth getting this watch, because on my 7-inch wrist it wears really nicely, and I'm going to put it on now. Just before that, wristwatch check, Seiko Baby Alpinist, another watch that I really like. I'm going to do a review on that one soon. Let's put this watch on, bear with me. One thing that's different about this watch here is, unlike the original Casioak, The buckle is constructed of a plastic. I don't know if it's resin, but it doesn't have the metal buckle like many of the others. But look at how it wears. Doesn't that just look really nice, really classy? I like the muted colour here. It's really nice. I like the matte design of it as well. It feels really comfortable. It has a weight of 51 grams, and as you can imagine, it wears really nicely. It feels nice on the wrist. Sometimes you forget it's there. It has just enough presence and weight for you to sometimes remember it's there and have a good look at it. There are other things that I like about this watch that are to do with the colour. Because of the grey, you can have a positive display with this, and it's put there in a way that doesn't really take away from the grey theme of the watch. Imagine that being on this particular watch here, the all black version. I like the blacked out version as well, but the thing about the blacked out version is legibility. Now, what can you see on here? You can see 2 hands at most, depending on where you put it. But the legibility is a lot better on this. And one thing I've found in comparison to the blacked out version is this one seems to have more anti-reflective, more of an anti-reflective coating on there. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's because of the colour that makes it appear that way, but that's how it feels anyway. This one is a lot more legible and has the same kind of classy look to it. That's my personal opinion from wearing them both and experiencing them both. Not to knock this one at all. This is a great watch in itself as well. But I think this just strikes a better balance of being stylish and legible. I tried the newer versions of these featuring solar and Bluetooth, but they just, for me personally, they didn't wear as well. I could feel the extra bit of thickness in the solar version, and you know, I didn't really find myself using the Bluetooth functions all that much. It would be nice to have solar, but I just like the matte finish of the dial on these ones. I think it goes with the rest of the case and the strap. So yeah, that's that. I like the way the watch hugs my wrist because of its design. What else can I say? It functions really well. And I just think it's an iconic watch. I think this is a modern icon in the watch world, really. If I want to have one particular Casio, I think this would be it. It's got a good mix of being a good looker, along with being functional. I love the form, I love the function, I love the design and how stylish it is. There's much to love about this watch. Is there anything that I would criticize? A few negatives? Well, yes. As I mentioned before, I do wish that this could have solar features in a way that doesn't really interfere with the dial. I don't really like the sunburst solar look that the solar editions have. I don't like the sunburst dial. I don't think it goes well with the rest of the case. Hopefully in the future that might be a thing. I know there's difficulties when making solar dials when it comes to continuity of design, but I really do wish that could be a feature for the future. If you're going to make this of a, I don't know, plastic or resin material, maybe for continuity, let's have the buttons like that. This fits my wrist nicely. Maybe in the future some longer straps for larger wrists. One thing that I didn't mention is the quick release on the back, just talking about the straps. Quick release straps, which is really good. 19mm lug to lug on these, by the way. So yeah, that's a nice feature. 20mm, make it easier to swap the straps, put on NATOs if you want to. all kinds of things, open up the way to making these watches more mod friendly when it comes to straps. I know there's lots of mods of these watches, but that's just my opinion when it comes to the tools that I have available for my other watches. That's that. Yeah, it's a really nice watch. It's definitely a keeper for me. I intend to keep this, and I've been wearing it a lot. It's had a lot of wrist time and I'm really enjoying wearing it. You know, I love the price of these watches. Just think, the Moon Swatch, if you wanted one of those originally, you had to pay around 250 British pounds, and I've heard from many that those watches break easily. I don't know what other people's experiences are, but for less money you can get one of these. It's an icon in its own right. Casio is a well-regarded brand in the watch world. It's got its own unique design. I know people say, you know, it looks like the Royal Oak, but I don't think the intention was to copy the Royal Oak. I think it was just to expand on that original hexagonal design. And it happened to look like the Casioak. But that can be a pass, really. I don't mind the fact that the battery is said to last around 3 years. I don't mind that. We have mechanical watches, and when we're ready, we're quite happy to take those for servicing and pay X amount of money for that. So changing a battery after 3 years doesn't really bother me all that much. And, you know, the fact that it means that you can do more with the dial. There's no limitations when it comes to what you have on the dial. I think that's a good thing. So really, yeah, it's a really great watch. I'm really enjoying wearing this. This is probably my favourite Casio G-Shock. I mentioned before that I love the colour of this watch. I've owned I've got the black one currently. I'm planning to sell this one. I've also had the skeleton version, the clear see-through one, and out of all of them, this is my favourite. It was a close tie between this one and the skeleton version, but because of the fact that the skeleton one, the strap, yellows over time, I decided to stick with this one. So, you know, that's it really. All around, great watch. It's probably one of my favourite Casio G-Shocks next to the original design G-Shock. So that's my review of this watch. It's definitely a keeper. It's going to stay in my collection and I'm going to continue enjoying wearing it. What are your thoughts on these particular watches? If you want to say what your favourite one is, you know, or what's your favourite G-Shock anyway? Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, let's carry on enjoying watches and the watch hobby. Peace.